Measure twice, cut once. Or in my case, measure 100 times and cut twice. Oh, look at that. So what I thought. Hey, good morning everybody. How you doing? And this is Craig and I'm here on the Thai farm getting ready to punish myself one more day trying to get something done without coughing my lungs out or dying on the job or getting electrocuted or slipping. I slipped in the rain yesterday, but this morning I went out to Global, our local hardware store, to get more of what I don't need. No, actually what I need, which is dabom. I got some, I'm using some different steel, and then I wanted, after I bought what I was gonna get and they were gonna load it up in the truck, I kind of thought about it. I thought, you know what, I need to, so I changed that idea. I went back, I went in and got more, which was this stuff is 2-inch square, and this is the 1 inch, well, it's 1.5. I'm not sure actually how 0.5 it is, but anyway. So I might wind up using the bigger one for something else over here or over here. But I got the cement board because the steel and the cement board I'm going to use, you know, for to close up that side of the A-frame over there. I thought about closing up the other side too, but then that really it obstructs the view of, I mean, part of the loft design was that so you have this big open view in front of you, so I probably won't use it for that. But I was gonna make it, or I am, I should say, I'm gonna make it double-sided, so that's why I got 2 pieces. Hopefully that's all I need. You know, the A-frame is there with a little bit of a crossbar at the top already welded in place. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna try and make long pieces going down. I might have to actually put one across the bottom, as, or you know, the mid bottom, whatever, as well, to have like a grid so that the cement board can get posted up to that real good, and then drill it in place. But it's not going to be easy. I'll probably have to put my scaffolding out on this side. But the first step would be to just I probably should have just got the metal weighted on the cement board, but I guess this will encourage me to go a little bit faster. I know some of y'all have been waiting for a year for this project to finish. It's probably been a year. I'll have to go back in the videos and look. Keep clearing my throat, man. It's like, I'm not really coughing, but it's keeping me right here. It's like there's something right there. Anyway, yeah, so I gotta weld those things first. So cut the steel and do some welding today, get that in place. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to cut the cement board into the pieces I need. I think I'm gonna have to actually just use, hopefully just cut 2 pieces. Like they're probably gonna have to be like a, one piece here. What is that? That's not a, it's obtuse triangle or so, a triangle kind of quadrilateral. No. I forget, man. I even forget my math. Anyway, I'm going to be cutting one on this side and then one on that side. And hopefully I can do one out of each piece of cement board. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up cutting a smaller triangle at the top. That's what I was talking about, a crossbar. And then 2 pieces on the bottom. So we'll have to take some measurements, take a look at that. For right now, meh. Get my gloves on. And yeah, try and move this cement board without breaking it. That's gonna be my task. All right then, let's get to it. I'll get back at you. Okay, yeah, well, those sheets, they're just too heavy and flexible. I'll snap it. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut it over there and then make it into smaller pieces so I can, more or safely bring it over here. And what I did to kind of prep, maybe I'm doing some serious math, recalculate. So I put this bar here. I'm not gonna weld that there, but I had it laying over there, so I put it in there so I could, start to figure out what the patterns are gonna be, which it'll be straight down the middle. And I think that piece and that piece would be, or not 2 pieces, but if I make this 1 piece, that'd be the biggest piece. And then as the bar goes down the middle, then I have another piece here, another piece here. So that'd be 3 pieces. Do this in a 3-piece shot instead of a 4-piece. If push comes to shove and I can't lift this piece without breaking it, then I'll just cut it down the middle and I'll be able to, still use it because I can, because the metal is there, and I'll just be able to, I'll be able to put it on the middle bar or whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I think I got that, but I had to climb up and down there at least 4 different times, making measurements. Remember, measure twice, cut once, or in my case, measure 100 times and cut twice. But yeah, I've used this cement board before, and I've broken it before. Trying to carry too big of a piece or whatever, or the whole sheet actually. So what I've done is that the spread across that bar is 90. So, and these, if you remember, are, what are these? These are 96 or something, right? 8. Yeah, 96. So it's the whole length almost of this sheet, which makes it kind of precarious to carry. But it's only 32 tall. So instead of 48, I marked it at 32. That's the 32 in the middle. So what I really have to do now is I have to go, you know, at an angle from here to there to there, and then that triangle is what I'll, oh, that's right, shoot, no, it's not a triangle, because what I decided, I forgot to show you that. That's actually why I went over there. But anyway, at the apex, at the top of that, there's that weld. Remember that bar is already there, so there's that diamond at the top. And I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna use the leftover. Remember, I have that one big long green piece still. I'm gonna use that leftover green to make a green window at the top, so it's a little bit transparent. There's some more light that comes through there, that end, instead of making a whole big old window on this side. I didn't really want to put a big old window on this side. Why, I don't know, but anyway, so that means that the piece I need for the top does not have to be a triangle. It doesn't have to be that triangle. I can actually be a kind of a, well, I don't know what they even call that triangle. What is that, isosceles triangle? I don't know. So it doesn't have to be a, like I said, a perfect triangle. So we'll see how that looks. But yeah, that just saves me some carrying space. So I marked the middle, and I already know that it's 23 or 20. What did I say it was? 28.5. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll go from here to here, then across, and then down, and then that'll be a big old piece, and I might be able to cut it in the middle. That's just for the top. The bottom should be a little bit more simple, although I won't be able to use this, the leftovers from this, so I'll definitely have to I can do a little bit more math. But what I'm trying to say is that the 2 sheets, yeah, that's not enough to make it double. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was, in terms of, you know, in my mind's eye, I'm like, oh yeah, I can put that there. I'll be like, no, that's enough for that. And I can put the other sheet, yeah, that's enough. No, it's probably not gonna be enough. Or it's definitely not gonna be enough. But I do know that I have to mark it out here, and I do have to cut it here, so I can walk it over there safely. And I wanted to actually, you know, I need to do that. I need to weld that up before I cut it, but I guess I could set it down on this wood or whatever. I don't want to, you know, it's going to be tricky sliding it off of here even without breaking it, to lay it down on the ground. And so what's the next step, Craig? It's got to be the cut and weld, man. I got to get those. I gotta get the support in place, and maybe after I put the support in place, I'll wind up having a whole different pattern to cut. Anyway, let's get to it. I'll get back at you. Yeah. Well, like I mentioned over there, that when I come over here and start laying bar and stuff, and I start thinking, maybe I wind up making different cuts, whatever. And a minute ago I talked about the, you know, putting the green in that apex window on these ends. But now, boom, look at that. So what I thought of, I mean, I just put this wood right here, but because this was actually going to be metal, so I was just trying to size it up, and I thought, wait a minute, you know what? If I actually do, I mean, I could go in the middle, but I could go right to the edge, you know, if it was, I mean, this kind of window looks, the width is kind of okay because, I don't know the way it is, but anyway, so if I move the beam over to right there at the corner, then I go straight down, like right here. Well, I can't move it over because it's too tall, but if I move it over to here and come down, then it's going to be a triangle, right? And then this would be right here. This would still, I'd still put this beam here, I think, because I need that for wall support. So I'll do this beam here, just like I'm doing this beam here. And then the window would be from here to here. And then I even thought, well, you know what, I could still do the apex, because check this out. Because if you're looking at this, let me move this out of the way, but it would be like an arrow. The window, it would be like this cap, and then right there. My creative juices. So yeah, you'd have this arrow window pointing to the heavens. But maybe not the green, because this, remember, this roof here is transparent. So I could use the same, because I'm going to probably have the same cutoff material, right? I'm still going to have this 14-inch piece of cutoff from laying when I lay this roof. So I could put the clear material here. I mean, you can see through here, and you can see the bushes and stuff like that. The clear will obviously be more transparent. I mean, more, you know, yeah, more transparent. And then you'll be able to see the trees more in nature. And I guess, you know, for the most part, this loft and, you know, being able to view nature like out this way and then maybe a little bit that way, it's kind of consistent with the approach I'm going with, trying to figure out what I'm doing here, because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, and then that would also save me some cement board. And if in fact I do put it here, the window would be bigger, right? It would wind up being from there to there, so the window itself would be bigger. But then this little triangle and then this piece, actually I might be able to make one piece just as in the same beam, but anyway, this piece and that piece, and then be able to, you know, make it, maybe I'll be able to get enough out of these two pieces. If I can get two, yeah, that's right. Well, I still need this bottom piece. So if I do that's the bottom over there. So I do the bottom piece and that one and that one. I don't know. I might be able to get double-sided going here with what I have if I work some magic with the math. But anyway, yeah. I'll be anxious to know what the final design looks like here in the pond house. All right, man. Back at you. think I got that done. Boom. So there you go. It's got that, that's the window that I'll put something in, and then I only have to cut this. Well, I'm gonna cut a long piece. I'll probably, you know what? I'll probably will cut 2 pieces, because that long piece, sure as hell, it'll snap on me. Cut 2 pieces. Well, I'll cut it 1 piece, then just rip it down the middle. And then 2 more pieces. And that's it. If I can fit it all on 1 piece of wood cement board, it'll be perfect, because then I can do the other one and I can have it back to back. Right on, man. Alrighty then, let's get on it. It's already baking. It's probably 2 o'clock. Running out of time, power, and energy. Well, I did break, and I had a chicken sandwich, a toasted chicken, mayonnaise, and lettuce sandwich that I made myself, because my wife is out in Pizza today, taking mama to the checkup. Whew. Alrighty, yeah, let's do it. Oh yeah. Oh well, you know, I took measurements of I wound up taking measurements of just 1 piece. I'm gonna have to go up and down anyway. But I figured, you know, if I just start taking a bunch of measurements and then cut it to those measurements, yeah, chances are it's gonna be off. It's a little crooked. I would like it to look straight enough, because, you know, where the bar, the middle bars are 2-inch, right? And then the side ones are 3-inch on the A-frame. And the cement board, I want it to fall right in the middle. Well, actually, I want it to fall mostly the three on the 3, almost to the top of the 3s, you know, on the outer edge. But on the middle bars, it has to only cover 1 inch of it. You know, and if I make it, anyway, it's not gonna turn out. So what I thought I'd do is, and I remembered, I got a big old bag of this Japanese newspaper, because out at that secondhand Japanese store, you know, there's, like I said, we got like 4 of them in there. They actually sell these like big old bags of just old Japanese newspapers. I mean, it's not that old, but I can't read the, 2023, 6/21, so yeah, June 20, hey, it's almost the same day. Almost 2 years old exactly. That's June 21, and today is June 23 maybe. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is, you know what, I got the measurements for the one. I'm gonna cut a newspaper template of there, then I have to go back up there and put it up there to see if it's actually gonna work. If not, I'm bringing scissors up there, I'll trim it up so it actually comes out right. That is that's the correct way to do it. And, you know, I looked for cardboard, because I usually have a ton of cardboard boxes, but I think we gave them away or whatever recently, so yeah, I'm gonna use these kind of stuff. I need templates, man. I should have templates, especially if I'm gonna cut concrete board. I don't want to mess that up. All right, well, let's cut it and we'll see if we get template. Back at you. Okay, well, I got my 2 paper templates. I laid them out. It looks like it's going to be an actually even corner on this one and corner on that one, or the alley in the middle, no problem. And based on this leftover, plenty of leftover for the bottom. And then I just thought of something, which was, I gotta, you know, I'm cutting this here, so I gotta lay it down and stuff. And then I thought, oh my god, I gotta lift this one off of that one and this and that. And then I thought, wait a minute, you know what, I have enough for both sides. So what I should do is put both sheets down here, square it up real good, and then just cut right through both sheets. That way I'll have 2 exact copies, and I can just put them both on there. So, you know, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, whatever. You know, in theory. Well, now I should do that. I'm gonna try and maybe try and use this wood to prop up underneath there. Maybe lay it in here, over here, over here, over here, like that, so I can cut right through it without having to worry too much about this part breaking off. Anyway, let me see what I can do before I break it. I'm out of gas, man. It's after 4 o'clock. I wanted to cut those other 2 big pieces and put them all up there, but no way. No way. I still gotta clean all this stuff up, man. Can't leave that stuff there. My wife will kill me. But I'm carrying those pieces back there even. You know, it's that cement board, but I bought the, you know, the high density one, which is like, you know, it's heavier, it's a thicker, it's 1/4 inch, or is it, maybe it's more than a 1/4 inch. Anyway, it's heavy, it's more water resistant. That's why the HD one, the high density, whatever. But yeah, and because I doubled up the template, right, and I definitely need to put those up there first and then look at cutting the bottom one, you know, or at least put those up there and then make the template from, you know, right at where it's at, so I can really line it up. So I'll do that maybe first thing in the morning. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday night, street market. But yeah, I should be able to come out in the morning after breakfast, I expect, and if I'm not dead. And one of the reasons, by the way, that I switched gears and I did not render that second wall was because, as I mentioned before about you know, rendering, and I do it, it's like 40 minutes of arm weights or whatever. Actually it's more than 40, but 2 sets of 40 minutes probably. But what I noticed, because I had the render was on the ground in the bucket, right in the bin I mix, and I'm squatting doing that. So I run out of squat, I'm holding my squat while I'm doing this, and then I go down and render like that. And inside, not my quads really, or my glutes or anything, but inside, like almost like where my groin is. So it's kind of like my hamstring. You know, what's that inside hamstring? I remember the name of that muscle. I used to know every muscle in the human body. I had to. All the different hamstrings, all the different quadriceps, minor foot, I don't know. Oh, damn. And the 106 bones or whatever. All that stuff. But anyway, I noticed that right on both sides of my crotch, you know, and oh my God. It was a task just sitting down, you know. I thought, whoa, stand up, and I feel it. It felt, you know, kind of good, like actually that I did a workout, but I hadn't used them muscles evidently. When I had been rendering before over there and stuff, I had a stool. So I would sit on the stool and do that. And I think that helped, because I don't remember this kind of pain. Or strain, I should say. But anyway, I was like, oh no, I can't do that rendering. And then I thought, you know what, I really want to get that. I was just gonna do the welding, but I figured, you know, let's do I got the cement board, I bought it, so I'm gonna cut it. Right now I still got to pick all that up. I got to pick that cement board up. I'm gonna put it over here, drag it over here underneath. I mean, I could leave it right there, but I can't do that. And then I gotta clean all that stuff up. I left my tools up on top of the loft and all that. I gotta take all that down. I got another 20 minutes or more of cleaning. And I can hear my wife telling me to come inside and take a damn shower so we can go eat dinner. All right, man, well, hey, let me know what you think of my window design. Maybe what I should put in there. Maybe stained glass. That would be cool. Yeah. But I already have my trials with stained glass. Unless I buy a stained glass window. Which you could actually. I've seen that. That's right. They do have that stuff. But I would need to buy a stained glass window like a global. Kind of used for one of them doors. Or the tile place, and then I would need to cut it. I would, instead of using it for that purpose, I would cut it for my purpose to fit that little window, which I could do. That might even be pretty cool. I'm always changing gears here on the Thai farm. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you think, and yeah, thanks for watching, and keep watching. I get back at you with more ideas here from the Thai farm.